Green's been the worst color in Standard for more than a year, but thanks to the recent bannings, could it be good again? Let's try a $91 build of mono green and find out on today's Budget Magic. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic. And this week, we're heading to our new post-ban Standard format to play a color that has mostly been forgotten in Standard. We're playing mono green, and I think mono green might actually be good now. Thanks to Invoke Despair and the Rakdos shell being banned, it might finally be mono green's time to shine. So we are playing a $92 build of mono green. So let's talk about the deck, what it's trying to do, why it might be good thanks to the recent bannings, jump into some games, see it in action. So step one is do some ramping. In the early game, we're trying to get to our big plays, which are 4 mana, 5 mana, even 7 mana in some cases. So we have Armored Scrapcorger, Llanowar Loam Speaker to start ramping on turn 2, and these are mana dorks that are a bit slow compared to like Birds of Paradise or Llanowar Elves, but they have the upside of also being able to attack for 3 eventually. Scrapcorger by turning into a 3/3, Llanowar Loam Speaker by animating lands. Jewel Thief is in our 3-drop slot. It's a pretty solid common. It does a little bit of everything. It ramps us with a treasure, a 3/3 Vigilous Trample for 3 is not bad. So this is kind of our early game ramp. Then we have our card advantage. In key card number 1 in this deck, Tribute to the World Tree. Tribute to the World Tree is an absurd card. The 3-mana enchantment lets us draw a card when a big creature comes into play, and when a little creature comes into play, we put counters on it. This is our card advantage engine, and this was a card that you just could not play in the Invoke Despair world. Like, these enchantments that need to sit on the battlefield for a while to generate value, they were incredibly bad when like half of decks were playing Invoke Despair in the main deck. But now that Invoke is gone, we can actually build around these enchantments, and Tribute is a really absurd payoff. It's actually the card we want to see most in our opening hand, because it just gives us a steady source of card advantage throughout the game. We also got one Doomscar Warrior, which is a pretty decent source of card advantage, especially if we have like a Jewel Thief or a Mana Dork early in the game. We can play it, back it up something on the battlefield, get in, draw a creature land from the top of our deck, and then have Doomscar Warrior left over. Then we have just our big beaters. One of the big upsides of mono green is our stuff is just really huge. Polukranos Reborn, 3 mana 4/5, and then it flips into a pseudo Worm Coil engine. Uvenwell Oddity, 4 mana 4/4 Trample Haste, flips into an 8/8 that pumps our team. Invoke the Ancients, I think might be the best Invoke. Now that Invoke Despair is banned, making 2 4/5s, each with an ability for 5 mana, is actually a really good deal. Plus, remember, Tribute to the World Tree triggers on creatures entering the battlefield, so it works with tokens as well. So if we have Tribute, we can invoke and draw 2 cards. Defiler Vigor, just really massive, 5 mana 6/6 trample, ramps us with Phyrexian mana and puts counters on our team. Then we have our big finisher, and this is another card that got so much better with Invoke Despair being banned. Nissa Ascended Animist is an absurd magic card. I was actually shocked when I realized Nissa's like under $5. We can play a full play set in a deck that only costs $91 overall, because Nissa is just a ridiculous finisher. It can come down for 5, 6, or 7 mana. It makes huge horrors. It blows up artifacts and enchantments, which is still relevant. People are still playing like Wedding Announcement and so forth. And then the ultimate, it's essentially like a Crater Hoof Behemoth. It just comes down, overruns our team, pretty much always wins us the game on the spot. So Nissa is one of those cards that it was really bad against Invoke Despair. With Invoke Despair around, what would happen is you would Nissa, and you'd make the token with Nissa, and then your opponent would Invoke Despair, and it would kill the token and kill the Nissa, and probably draw your opponent a card and lose you some life. Now that Invoke is gone, Nissa is absurd again. This is one of those cards that I have to imagine is going to be good in Standard. It might be good now. I actually think this mono green deck might be good now, but it's going to be in Standard for what, 2.5 more years or something? There is basically a 0% chance, in my opinion, that there will never be a good Nissa deck in Standard because the card is just so ridiculous. Otherwise, Tyver Stand, good at protecting our creatures and can finish the game by surprise by pumping. As far as our mana base, 20 forests, 4 bushwhacks. Bushwhack is essentially a MDFC in our deck. It can get a forest for 1 mana, or if we don't need a forest, it can be a fight spell. As far as the sideboard, Tranquil Fillback does a little bit of everything. A bunch more removal, Thruns for control to get through counter spells, Stonebrain to try to fight through Atraxas and Italians and whatnot. And that is mono green for Standard on a $92 now budget. That's our Budget Magic for this week. Let's jump into some games and see if, thanks to the recent bannings, mono green is back. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap-up. Want to try the deck yourself? Well, you can snag all the cards you need from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Budget magic time. We are playing some new standard this week, seeing if mono green is good finally. It's been like years since mono green could be good. So $100, actually a little less, mono green in standard, and this hand looks pretty good. I mean, we got Tribute to the World Tree, which is probably our most important card. Also, Polukranos can be good. See what our opponent's up to about it. Oh, mono black, eh? Razor Lash Transmogrant, sure. Well, do we run out Lone Speaker? We can protect it next turn. Yeah, I think we do. I mean, we'd like it to live. If it dies, it's not the end of the world. If it dies, then next turn we can tribute into Polukranos, probably. If it lives, well, okay. Not even worth discussing if it lives. But it hits us down to 7. Ooh, missed a land drop. Hits us to 17. Well, play the land, run out tribute, which this is where you can see the difference that Invoke Despair being banned really makes. Like, opponent hits us, we can play Tribute and it might actually stick. Ooh, all right. Polukranos has not rotated yet. We get to draw a card and we have protection, and there's a Nissa. Nissa's another card. Everything changed when Invoke got banned. Ooh, okay. Well, we can block this turn. I guess this is fine. We can block the Gix and then fight it. We could Doomscar attack. I think let's Bushwhack for a land, because we do want to keep hitting our lands to get to this Nissa. Bushwhack for a land, play the land, Bushwhack away the Gix. Yeah, let's not. I feel like with another Gix, I'm glad we didn't attack. With this Tribute and this Nissa, I think we win the long game. At least that's a theory. Gix number 2. Yeah, we definitely don't want to start taking combat damage and let our opponent draw out of their mana issues. Tyver Stand's a really good card. I think maybe greens could now. Like, Tribute, one of the best cards in mono green, actually works with Invoke Band. Nissa, one of the best cards in mono green, actually works with Invoke Band. I don't know how good Doomscar is. We're gonna find out though. It's a way to draw cards, another way to draw cards. So we can Doomscar, back up Polukranos, draw a card from Tribute. The problem is this does mean we kind of need to attack. Kind of prices us into another Tribute. Yeah, I mean, we gotta attack and draw a card. We can't pass up this value. Hit ya. 5 cards deep. Snag. Defiler. Play the land. All right, so opponent might get to draw a Gix card, but we can use, oh, this is gonna be good. So we can block the Gix, Tyver Stand to keep Doomscar alive, get rid of the Gix, and I think our opponent's in trouble. Like, yeah, they get to draw a card, but we have Polukranos. We got Doomscar Warrior, and we got a Nissa that is right around the corner. If we draw land, I think we just win this turn. I don't know if we'd go for it. If they tap, oh, okay, well, yeah, if we draw land, we just win this turn. Uben Waldadi. Well, we don't win this turn, but we do get to play something huge. Actually, yeah, let's just attack first. Actually, do we still win? How much? We 5, 10. Oh, actually, we do win. Okay, Tyver Stand. Okay, we do win this turn. I was thinking win by overrunning Nissa, but yeah, Tyver Stand kind of busted, and that is a very dead opponent. That's the power of mono green. The things are really big. Mono green just has so many big dumb creatures. Let's bring in a bit more removal. Frill back to exile the graveyard seems reasonable. And then I guess we just do a little trimmage around the edges. Also, I think Green Invoke might be good now too. The problem with Green Invoke isn't that it's lacking in strength. The problem with Green Invoke is you need a lot of green and no one wants to play green in standard. But that might be changing now. Yeah, it's around like that. The bite down seemed good. Just a little bit more removal. Sand is powerful but slow. Yeah, let's ship it, unfortunately. I mean, this is fine. Ramp into Oddity, Tribute. Tribute, I think, is the card we want to see most in our opening hand. Ooh, that's a lot of Tributes, okay. Well, if we can get them down in time. Tribute, I think, is the card we want to see most. Schwamp for our opponent. Creature Enchantment or Planeswalker, that's essentially our deck. All right, what truth are we extracting? The Oddity. Well, play the land, play the Scrap Gorger. Opponent. Schwamp. Oh, Gix, that's not great. Ooh, Bushwhack, but not... Not enough power to actually fight the Gix, so I think we're just going to get a land to make sure we can get down to Filer next turn. Yeah, Gix is scary. Gix might just be able to snowball us here. About it. Schwamp. Graveyard Trespasser. I mean, I guess the question's going to be, do they have removal? If we get to play Defiler and it sticks, that might be able to shut down the offense. And we get to draw a card. Alright, they do have removal. Well, yeah, now we're pretty dead. Opponent's going to draw 2. Yeah, I mean, Gix is one of those cards. It either does nothing or it snowballs. If you can keep it on the battlefield, it can snowball into a win pretty much by itself. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. The classic Gix snowball. I think people are still trying to figure out, like, how do you build black decks after all the bannings? Maybe Gix is the way to go. Like, our opponent's take seems to be aggro, play a bunch of 1-drops, try to use Gix as your card advantage engine. So this is replacing, like, the Bank Busters and the Fables. If you want to just not attack us, we would accept that. All right, here they come. So we're going to 9. Opponent draws 2. And now, like, with our opponent drawing this many cards, the odds of them being able to kill this Defiler are pretty high. Oh, wow. Oh, the tributes have become a drawback. Yeah, now I think we're just literally dead. Now to play Defiler, we have to take 4 from Sheoldred. Yeah, let's run it back. I think this setup's fine. We just had a slow hand on the draw, and our opponent had a Gix and Snowball. Good news is we're on the play this game, which should help us defend the Gix. Oh, all right, 0 lands. This is fine. We could put a 3-drop to the bottom. Yeah. Oh, boy. The question, yeah, let's try it like this. The question is, Scrap Gorger gonna live? That's the risk. But this hand, so next turn we get to play a Scrap Gorger. The following turn, we have the mana either way for Tribute, and then Polukranos, and the Tribute should help us hopefully undo the mulligan. I don't think, like, our opponent's mono black, so I don't think we have to worry about them killing our enchantments anymore. I mean, I guess they could have some weird colorless, like Filgrease Ilex or something, but in general, like, I don't think black decks can do it anymore. Invoke being gone is a big deal. Ooh, opponent, okay, just passes. Well, run out the Scrappy past the turn. About it, Schwamp. And there's the removal. Well, I mean, yeah, let's get down the Tribute. Opponent, Bloated Processor. All right, well, we hit the land, which I guess means we just oddity and smack ya. Oddity, draw a card, hit ya for 4. All right, opponent down to 16. About it, Schwamp. More go for the throats. Yep. Hits us down to 17. We draw land. Yeah, I think Polukranos is just better here. Polukranos, draw a card. Play the forest past the turn. Opponent, Archfiend of the Dross. Do we get to flip Polukranos? Polukranos, Tribute to the World Tree is kind of a combo. If they kill the Polukranos, we get 3 3s that draws 2 cards. We might have to just kill the Processor here. So if we kill this, they get a 3/3, but it's not a creature yet. I think we just kill it and then try to flip Polukranos. With 1 mana, they shouldn't be able to kill Polukranos, right? And then we just attack, and if they trade with Archfiend, like, I guess that's fine. All right, so Processor down. Opponent incubates a 3/3. I guess we just go for it. I think the coast is as clear as it's gonna get to make a Worm Coil. Awkward that our opponent has a 6/6, but still. Yeah, I mean, flip it. You gotta pay the 2, but we're gonna gain back 6. And yeah, I mean, if you want to trade, go for it, Archfiend. Go for it. 6/6, reach lifelink. I think this is our first Polukranos in Standard. If it dies, we get 2 3/3s. Yeah, I mean, the backside of Polukranos is kind of insane. Actually, if you want to see more Polukranos was a commander I played week 1 of the new season of Commander Clash. Kind of sweet in Commander. You gotta flip it for it to be sweet, but once you flip it, the backside can do some really cool, like, Selesnya Aristocrat stuff. All right, wow, opponent just takes it. Well, this is fine. Like, Polukranos just races Archfiend. We're gaining 6 a turn, so they're hitting us for 6, but that doesn't do anything because we just gain it back. All right, opponent makes a 3/3. Sure, plays a land. Yeah, let's keep attacking. I mean, even if they kill it, it's not the end of the world. Hilariously, I mean, I think our opponent's gonna die to Polukranos beats, but we might have gained enough life that they die to this Archfiend if they don't. Yeah, let's just frill back. Frill back, so we get to draw a card with Tribute. I guess we just pay thrice, do everything. Exiling the graveyard doesn't do a ton here, but we get to blow up the Incubate, exile the graveyard, gain 4. Yeah, all right. Archfiend's down to 2. It would be kind of funny to stop attacking and try to make our opponent die to their Archfiend, but opponent cannot beat the Polukranos. Yeah, apparently, Warm Cooling Legend, still a good Magic card, even in 2023. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Doing some more mono greening in New Standard, and yes, we would like to play first, and we got a Tribute to the World Tree. How bad can it be? Forest, go. It would be nice to draw something we can play before this Doomscar. Doomscar is much better when we're backing something up. Skrelv. All right, looks like Esper Legends. Now I guess we bushwhack for a land. Jewel Thief is good. So we can Jewel Thief next turn into Doomscar Warrior. Draw some cards, maybe. Opponent. Thalia. Well, one thing that is good about our deck is we do not really care about Thalia. I guess it taxes like Tribute or whatever, but most of our deck is just big creatures. Jewel Thief, make a treasure. I mean, this is the Esper curve out. If they have Rafine here, we might be in trouble. Rafine attack with Thalia, blah, blah, blah. Skrelv is good against us. All right, Rona for our opponent. Ooh, but no land. All right, ooh, and a Nissa. All right, well, I mean, looks like it's time to back up the Jewel Thief. Jewel Thief also has Vigilance, so we can get in. I mean, if they want to throw their team in front of Jewel Thief, I guess we're cool with that. Yeah, back up the Jewel Thief, get a counter, go attacking. Opponent, wow, takes it. Okay, 4 cards deep. What do we find? Opponent missed a land drop. I think we just want to add power to the battlefield. Take the Polukranos. Wow, and opponent scoops it up. Too good, too good. Well, bring in the bite downs. This is probably a bad invoke matchup just because of Thalia. Like it's creatures, but they get taxed by Thalia, so we probably want to minimize that. Removal's necessary though. We don't want to get Rafined. Yeah, run it like that. All right. On to game number 2. Our opponent's playing, theoretically, the new best deck in Standard. The new best deck in Standard, Esper, the hotness post-banning. We're playing budget mono green, the worst color in Standard for the last year. Did we just get them to quit? Did they quit Magic? Polukranos took away their will to play. I have a question for you. YouTube. When will our opponent play Magic again? Maybe when Polukranos rotates. Well, that was a freebie. I guess we got him. Whew, that's a whole lot of lands. Yeah, can't keep that one. This one we can keep. And Defiler's gotta go bottom. I mean, Polukranos is big. Double Uven Oddity. If we just hit our lands and go Polukranos Oddity, that's a lot of power on the battlefield. What is our opponent? Oh, Toxic. All right, Jawbone Duelist. Scrap Gorger is actually an absurdly good draw here. That can stop the Jawbone from poisoning us. Do you have Annex Sentry? That's the real question. Slaughter Stinger. Well, okay, so much for the blocking the Duelist plan. Well, we're down to 16, up to 2 poison. Let's just run out Polukranos. Polukranos plus Tiver Stand seems pretty good here. Not as much immediate damage, but now that they have Jawbone Duelist, Slaughter Singer, we got to make sure we don't just die. Ideally, we avoid getting the 3rd poison counter. The corruption turns on some of our opponent's stuff, so we'll see. It is nice that we're pretty safe to block. If we draw a land, we can oddity and leave up Tiver Stand. Well, all right. I guess we are still gonna oddity. No protection, but do we just smack them? Yeah, I think we gotta play defensively. Our bodies are just so much bigger than our opponent's bodies. Hopefully we win the long game. This is one of the reasons I think mono green might actually be good now. Like, people are playing more aggro decks, and mono green just kind of trumps most aggro decks because the creatures are just so above the curve. Like Polukranos, even Oddity, but Defiler, they're just all like so big. So if your opponent's playing, you know, Slaughter Singers and Jawbone Duelists, you don't care. Venerator Rot Priest, okay. Another Duelist. Well, we're sort of, ooh. All right, there's the land. Well, I guess we just stay odd. Did we just start smacking him? Is this the turn? I'm so worried about just getting like poison's such a scary mechanic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like we could theoretically just die. If we swing out and they like kill Scrap Gorger, we just get poisoned out of the game. But how do we break through? I mean, I guess we do have Nissa in hand. Stall out and then Nissa. We're also a land away from flipping Polukranos, if that matters. I guess we could also just Nissa next turn, maybe? Maybe it's worth Nissing next turn and just start making dorks. Ooh, Scrap Gorger. Yeah, let's Scrap Gorger. This puts us one land away. One land away from Nissa. And Nissa does just win us the game. Nissa's actually like, the card's really strong. Nissa also got super wrecked by Invoke Despair. Like, you play Nissa, you make the token, then they invoke and they kill the token and Nissa and draw a card. It was just like, you couldn't really do it. But now Nissa, I think, also gets way better in this brave new world of Rakdos being banned. All right, land. So we can play Nissa, but we can't ultimate it. All right, let's Nissa. Double Phyrexian mana. We want to leave up the Tyver's stand. If we're not going to ultimate Nissa, take it up. Now we get to just poop out 4 4s and 5 5s every turn. Our opponent, they are getting pretty wide. There is risk here. There is risk that they go wide enough to just get around our big green things. We have what, 5 blockers and they have a lot of attackers. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm not sure why our opponent was dead there, but we will take it. Well, Bite Down's definitely in. Tyver's stand, I think we can trim. Our opponent's not a very removal heavy deck. Yeah, let's go down to Defiler and a Jewel Thief and run it like that. Yeah, all right. I mean, stand seems fine. We get to ramp into big green things. That's it's kind of the game plan. That's what we're here for. Opponent. Ooh, Skrelv. All right. Skrelv is annoying. Skrelv is actually really good against us because every creature in our, ooh, and a Slaughter Stinger. Oh no. Wait, are we dead? Can we just not beat this? We need to draw removal. Run out a Loam Speaker. I mean, we can play big things, but I'm not sure it matters because of Skrelv. If they just go all in on Skrelv, oh no. Okay, Slaughter Stinger, protection, 3 poison. So we're dead in 2 turns, even through, no matter how much power we add to the battlefield, we're dead in 2 turns. Well, run out the Oddity, and I guess we attack because we can't block anyway. So we gotta draw removal this turn. We need the Bite Down or a Bushwhack or something. Opponent hits us. Up to 7 poison. Come on, deck. Removal. Removal. How about some removal? Oh wait, now we might be dead anyway. Oh god. Wow, that's a Nissa. And yeah, I mean, we're just dead, right? Yeah, we're dead. All right. Maybe we want some Tranquil Frillbacks. Frillback can get Skrelv. The life gain's not super relevant, but that can get rid of Skrelv or Skrelv Scythe. Yeah, that seems better. We found the way we can lose to Toxic, which is protection from a color is insane against our deck. Really, really good. All right, well, we're on the play for game number 3, which should help. And we got more Skrelv answers. All right, we got a Bite Down. We're gonna keep this. The Bite Down means that what happened last game shouldn't happen this game at least. And we have turn 3 Oddity, which is a fast clock. All right, there's a Skrelv, our nemesis. Well, run out the land of more Loam Speaker and Jawbone Duelist. Oh, do we have to take a turn off and kill? Yeah, I think we have to kill the Skrelv. That's just too much. That's 4 Toxic a turn, right? Yeah, we can't let Skrelv Duelist go off. Without the Skrelv, Duelist is nothingness. We saw in game 1, they had all the Duelists, but they couldn't get through. So without the Skrelv, not shook by a Jawbone Duelist. Opponent, Venerator Rot Priest. Our opponent doesn't seem to be a combo. Wow, Van Helsing's Holy Ward. All right, well, get in there, opponent. What do we find? Ooh, Invoke Agents. I think Green Invoke is good now. Is Green Invoke the best Invoke now? And it might be. I think it actually might be. I think Green has gotten better. Invoke Despair is gone. The other Invokes don't really see play. Like 5 mana, 2 4/5s, each with an ability. That's a pretty good card. It's a little bit awkward that it doesn't work with like Defiler, but still, Bushwhack's not bad. It's a bit more removal. How do we do this? Play the land, play the oddity. Wow, opponent takes it to 8? Okay, opponent. Let's brack with the Loam Speaker. That's the creature we care about the least. And opponent scoops it up. Well, they got us in game number 2 with Skrelv, which is something to keep in mind. Being a monocolor deck, Skrelv can be very good. But I think in general, our bodies are just way too big for Toxic. So, yeah, sweet. Budget magic time. We are doing some more mono greening. Is mono green actually good now in standard on a $100 budget? Well, not with this hand. No lands, no keep. Ugh. This hand is clunky. Technically, we have 3 lands though because of these bushwhacks. We just gotta pay a mana to get our lands. Well, bushwhack, get a land. Opponent spars headquarters and forest, and oh boy. All right, looks like 5 color domain slash ramp slash control slash. This might be a tough matchup. You know what's good against our deck is a bunch of farewells and sunfalls, and also lay down arms, I guess. Kills a ramp. Well, okay, we're hitting our lands. Forest never rotates anymore. Gonna be a long time until Siege Rhino is playable. Opponent, Courier's Briefcase. Yup. Passes. Tribute is actually pretty good. Tribute could give us the cards to keep up with what our opponent's doing. Let's get in with Polukranos. Really gonna chump. Interesting. Well, play a Tribute. How do we beat an Atraxa? I mean, I guess our hope is to kill our opponent before the Atraxas come. Yeah, I think we do. This does mean we don't have Tyver stand up. Opponent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, they are potentially a turn away from oh no. Oh, okay. Honestly, we would rather lose Polukranos than Tribute here. I think Tribute is more important in the long run. Plus, Polukranos is legendary, and we'll draw another one sooner or later. Well, next turn is the 7 mana turn. That's usually the big turn for these decks. If there's a number that really matters, it's definitely 7. Defiler only reduces the cost of permanence, so we can't use it to cast the Tyver stand. I guess we just run it out, though. I mean, it is a 6/6, and it draws us a card. Well, next turn we can Jewel Thief. I mean, do they have the Atraxa? Leyline Binding, all right. Okay, Defiler Vigor, sure. I mean, we're kind of okay with this. Like, our opponent just keeps sniping our creatures, but we have many big... Ooh, Invasion of New Phyrexia. We have many just above the curve creatures. Opponent hits us down to 20. So as long as our Tribute... Oh, that's a really good draw. As long as our Tribute sticks around, we're fine. Invoked Ancients, pretty good here. I mean, we get 2 4/5s and draw 2 cards. The question is, what ability do we want? Probably just Vigilance. We don't really want them to flip into the fairies. So if we go Vigilance, we can attack and also, oh, land. Okay, land. All right, now we get to leave up the Tyver stand too, and hopefully we can close this out before our opponent draws the big whammies. So far, we have not seen an Atraxa or an Atali or a Sunfall. Herd Migration. I mean, that's kind of a big whammy. Although, like, we can block it, and we still have Tribute. Yeah, let's Jewel Thief. Draw a card, make a treasure. Play the land. Draw a card. Tribute's like really good. It is really good. Do we attack? We can protect it with Tyver Stand. One of the issues we have here is Tyver Stand not going to save us from a lot of our opponent's removal. So we're probably better off trying to use it as like a janky removal spell. Yeah, let's Indestructible. Kill the 3/3. Because like Farewell, Sunfall, they all exile. And Tyver Stand does not prevent the exiling. All right, opponent finally realizes that Tribute to the World Tree kind of busted, but Sage use it. I think our opponent would have probably won this game. Wow, we draw another one. They probably would have won by now if that like first Leyline Binding went after the Tribute instead of the Polukranos. I think that would have been better for them. Is it time to flip it? I think it's time to flip it. Everything, trample in haste, and here we come. And we have another Tyver Stand. I mean, like I said, our plan here is we gotta close out the game before a Troxa happens, before a tally mostly happens, before a Farewell or Sunfall happens. So we gotta be aggro. We're definitely protecting this behemoth and also wiping out a lot of 3/3s. Wow, an opponent scoops it up. Okay, we managed to do it. They never found the finisher. They never found the finisher. Well, let's bring in a bunch of Tranquil Throwbacks, which is pretty good for blowing up Leyline Binding. New Human Graveyard might be relevant. Probably not. I am like super scared of Atroxa. I don't know how we realistically beat an Atroxa. I guess we got our sneaky Stone Brain tech. Maybe Stone Brain. Maybe Stone Brain is the solution. Get rid of it. But I mean, that's why it's in the sideboard. That is why it's there. All right, on to game number 2. I still think, I mean, we won that game, but I still think this has got to be one of the scariest matchups for our deck. We are on the draw. We have the Stone Brain. I mean, 1 land, but we do have the Loam Speaker. I'm really tempted. Yeah, we're gonna keep it. We'll be fine. I hear the weeping and gnashing of teeth from the from the comments already. We're gonna draw a forest, Chad. Don't worry about it. We're good. All right, that's not a forest. Invoke the Ancients discarded. Who would have thought? Oh, our opponent's also missing lands. Who would have thought that 1 land, 1 keep would betray us like that? Bushwhack, grab a forest. Okay, there's land number 2. Even with 2 lands, we got double Loam Speaker. Come on, no land, no land. Ooh. The battle of 2 decks running horribly. At least our opponent has the excuse that they mulliganed and probably didn't have a choice. Really, they left in the counters. Interesting. Opponent, do you draw land? No. Do we draw land? Yes. Well, yeah, let's tribute. How many Make Disappears can they possibly have? I don't even know if Make Disappear... Ooh, all right. I'm not convinced Make Disappear is that good against our deck, but our opponent apparently sees otherwise. Yeah, let's Bushwhack. Grab a land. Well, I mean, we're pulling ahead in the land fight at least. Jeweled Thief. No. Okay, Herd Migration. So opponent did find their version of Bushwhack, essentially. They do get a land. Why in the world wouldn't they do that during their turn and play the land? That is the strangest play I've ever seen. All right, Restoration of Agansho, the word we are now saying properly, unfortunately. Well, let's back up the Jewel Thief. Go dig and draw a card. Now that our opponent's hitting their lands, I'm a little bit frightened. Well, we will take a land and run out a Loam Speaker. Oh, so 5 mana is where Sunfall is. Like, that's what makes this matchup so frightening, is we just know. Oh, all right, they hit another land. So opponent just caught back up on lands here. Oh, I don't know if we can. Ooh, Wandering Emperor. Does that mean they don't have a Wrath? I don't know if we should add more to the board or not. I guess we could Stone Brain and see what our opponent's got going on. We gotta pressure. Oh, this is such a tough matchup. Yeah, let's frill back. Pay. I guess pay. So blow up Restoration, exile their graveyard, gain some life. Like, it's such a tricky matchup because we need to pressure to win before Atroxa comes down, but we also, yeah, you gotta be careful not to extend too much because of Sunfall blowing us out. I mean, Invoke Despair is a good follow-up. It is a good follow-up. Make a couple spirits. You know, let's just trample, play the land. Courier's Briefcase. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Next turn could be the bomb turn. Lay down arms. Yeah, I guess lay down arms is the card that kind of punishes Invoke, doesn't it? Tiver Stand. You would have been good last turn. Well, I mean, we got to play this. If Atroxa comes down here, I think we just straight up lose. Well, Stone Brain, name Atroxa. Opponent's gonna Leyline Binding. Well, I guess we need to Tiver Stand. I guess we might as well pump. All right, let's see how bad it is. We're naming Atroxa. Opponent's hand. Oh. Well, let's look at their deck. 3 Atroxas. Lay down arms. Wow, they got a lot of counters. That's a lot of wraths. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 6 wraths. 6 wraths. No tallies. That's worth noting. Do have to worry about Atroxa and wraths though. Well, get rid of the Atroxas, although I'm not super convinced we beat our opponent's hand. They do have herd migration, which I guess after Atraxa is probably the next best thing to Stone Brain if we're Stone Braining. Opponent. Post-combat incubator. Still very confused about it. I don't know what our opponent's thinking. Well, Llanowar Loamspeaker. We also haven't been able to stick a tribute, so we haven't really had any card draw. How could we win this game? What ways do we have? Down to 19. Briefcase. Land number 8. Maybe we need to start turning lands into creatures. We're gonna lose them, but there's a Leyline Binding. It's the token. We've drawn way too many lands. Oh god. Well, we're gonna block this turn. No Wandering Emperor. That's good at least. Oh, land number 9. Yeah, that's just too much, too many. We know what our opponent's up to now. The challenge is going to be playing around the Wraths. Is there anything we can sideboard to improve our chances? Probably not. All right, we're on the play. That is good news. Being on the play should help. Still a scary matchup, though. Just so many Exile Sweepers. All right, we will play first, and we will mulligan first. Well, that is a Nissa. I mean, I guess our game plan is Mana Dork, Nissa. Hope it works. Nissa is pretty busted. Although, I don't think it's going to be lethal the way this is setting up. Running out their lands. Ooh, Tribute. I think we still play Scrap Gorger. Scrap Gorger plays around Make Disappear. And now we're going to have a question next turn, like, do we run out Nissa? We know our opponent's playing all 4 Make Disappears still. Do we run out Nissa even though it can get Make Disappeared? Or do we just Tribute? Well, exile a card. Start getting them oil counters. Bushwhack, eh? I mean, they also have Leyline Binding, which answers Nissa. Yeah, let's just Tribute. Well, it didn't feel like our opponent had a counter. That kind of just snapped right off. You know what? Let's Bushwhack. Bushwhack, get a land. This also gets a card in the graveyard for the Scrap Gorgas. Opponent untaps. We will try to turn on the Scrap Gorger. One card away. All right, any creature. Also worth mentioning with Tribute. Tribute, yeah, let's Phyrexian Mana it, playing around Make Disappear. Oh no. Oh, we know they only have one of these too because we saw their deck last game from the Stone Brain. Oh, we spent 4 life to play around Make Disappear. And got. Oh no. Oh, this is looking bad. And now our opponent, has learned that Tribute is busted and rightly gets rid of it. Opponent's up to 5 mana. Well, go Scrap Gorgers. New game plan. 3 beatdowns. Tyver's Stand is kind of sneaky. All right, Wandering Emperor. Well, we're definitely gonna have to Tyver's Stand now. We don't have much going on. I guess we just max it. Yeah, Tyver Stand. We get in some damage. Opponent down to 11. Opponent's got 5 cards in hand though. All right, another Triumph. So next turn could be the Atraxa turn. Ooh, Nissa. Let's play Tribute. Exile Wandering Emperor. No Atraxas, please. No Atraxas. Land. Oh boy, Atraxa. All of our work getting our opponent down to 11 is now done. Opponent gets a new hand of cards, and it's a pretty good one. Bunch of removal. Yeah, Make Disappear. Well, I mean, we probably have to play Nissa now. Even Nissa's not very good, right? Like, we can play it, but it doesn't kill Atraxa. I guess we play it, take it up, make an 8/8, draw a card. How do we so the value of an 8/8, and this probably isn't going to work in practice because our opponent has a bunch of removal, but the value of an 8/8 is, in theory, it does let a fight spell kill Atraxa. We also lose the 8/8 because of Death Touch, because Atraxa is kind of ridiculous, but that is a way we could eventually kill an Atraxa. Well, draw land past the turn. I guess this also probably going to soak up some attacks, although our opponent is going to gain a ton of life. Oh, and there goes the 8/8. Yeah, oh no, another land. Well, this is done anyway, so we might as well blow up the Leyline. Get back a Tribute. So I guess we just try to draw some cards and see what happens. Uvenwald Oddity. Draw 2. Opponent should probably be leyline binding these tributes. I feel like our only realistic chance of getting back in this game, I don't know if there is a realistic chance, but our only slight chance is drawing a ton of cards with tributes. What you got? Leyline binding. Hits the oddity. All right, so opponent's gone back to giving up on the tributes. I think our opponent's still undervaluing the tributes, but I guess I have an Atraxa, so their choices probably don't matter a whole lot. Courier's Briefcase, Atraxa. Opponent's all the way back up to 25. Well, you're the Scrap Gorger. Oh, we can. Yeah, let's run out the oddity. This Frillback might be kind of good. Draw a couple cards. Oddity. Play the Frillback. We can pay for a Make Disappear. They can sack the token. Okay. So we're on a what? Two turn clock at the moment? All right, can't pay for the Frillback. If we can somehow make our opponent Wrath, that would get rid of the Atraxa. Up to 32. We're down to 5. All right, well, we definitely need this Frillback to resolve, or else we just die. Frillback can gain enough that we get one more turn. Well, this is actually, I mean, I don't know how any of this beats Atraxa, but this is sweet. So Frillback, activate, blow up Leyline, gain 4, so we go back up to 9. Yeah, Atraxa that is a very strong Magic the Gathering card. So we get to draw 4. Tribute's also a good card. Atraxa might be a problem for our deck. I guess we could try to like attack and Tyver. Oh my god, land. Nissa. Ooh. I mean, Nissa gives us the littlest glimmer of hope of all time. Nissa Overrun could, in theory, be a way we could win through this Atraxa. Okay, draw with Tribute, Tyver Stand, Stone Brain. All right, so opponent untaps, goes up to 39. Restoration, sure. Is there a chance? I mean, the question is gonna be, does the Nissa resolve? We're gonna have 9 forests, so I think our board is lethal, even with our opponent at 39, even with an Atraxa. Nissa power for the steal. If everything gets +9/+9, oh yeah, that's super lethal. And we have Tyver Stand, so we can get around targeted removal. Is there any way we can Stone Brain? 8, 9, 10, 11. If we Stone Brain, we could technically do it. The problem is, then we can't Tyver Stand and Make Disappear would be turned on. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is what it is. Nissa. Ultimate. We took like 5 Atraxa hits. Opponent was almost dead, went up to 39. No way to kill the Atraxa. And Nissa in our budget mono green deck comes through. My god. My god. Maybe green is good now. Even if they have Leyline Bindings, we got opponent gonna block. Oh, this is a lot of damage. Atraxa, not enough. In our hard matchup, through the nightmare of the on-curve Atraxa, and we still got it done. Okay, maybe, I mean, if we can beat that deck with 6 Wraths and Atraxa, maybe our deck's good. We are playing some more $90 mono green in standard. Seeing if mono green is back in, I think it might be. We're gonna keep this. We're on the draw, only 1 land, but Bushwhack can find us another one. I think we just Bushwhack. All right, Triumph. So probably, well, we'll see. Oh, Spirited Companion. All right, I don't know what our opponent's doing then. I was thinking they were the, actually, let's Scrap Gorger, start growing it. I was thinking they were gonna be Domain, but who knows? Oh, Broker's Ascendancy. That is a scary card that we cannot currently answer. Well, Tribute to the World Tree. Pass the turn. Well, we're up against some spice. Oh, if they start playing cards, this Broker's Ascendancy is an issue. Opponent, just the Perfected Mind. Tick up on the Scrap Gorger, sure. Opponent, yeah. Ticks up, well, we will invoke the Ancients. I mean, this is good, but is it good enough? Trample, draw some cards. All right, pass the turn. Come on, no wraths. Opponent ticks up. 8, 16, so Jace can mill 24 cards. Shana. And opponent going to pass. Grows the dorks. I'll play the land. So if we attack the Jace and our opponent double blocks, what do? I'll go to combat. We gotta attack the Jace. Okay. Invoke the Ancients. Oh my, oh, that's game. Wow. Broker's Ascendancy. I mean, we've been talking at length about how enchantments have to sit on the battlefield. They've gotten much better, and we are seeing an example of that now. All right, so opponent mills most of our deck. I'll play a Jeweled Thief. That Spell Pierce was brutal. Spell Pierce. Make a treasure, draw a card. Opponent's going to block. Well, okay. Tyvar Stand. Exile the Jace. Tyvar Stand. Protect it. Okay. Well, okay. The Shauna's down. Wandering Emperor, okay. Wait, are we in this game sort of ish? Tyvar Stand. Protect it. While these Tyvar Stands are coming through. Opponent counters on the dorks. The problem is we're at risk of just getting milled out. Polukranos, draw a card. Oh, there's Nissa. Kill Wandering Emperor, hit our opponent. We gotta kill our opponent before they draw another Jace, essentially. Opponent goes to 8. Loam Speaker. Go. Hold. Oh, they top-decked it. Wow. Mill Xaxes. Well, that was interesting. We're bringing in the Tranquil Throwbacks. We're bringing in the Bite Downs, I guess. Oh, well, that was brutal in a whole bunch of ways. Opponent had the Spell Pierce for that Invoke Ancient. They had the early Broker's Ascendancy, and they drew multiple Jaces, and exactly 5 lands. Well, maybe we have found a way that we can possibly lose. Broker's Ascendancy of all things. Even after all that, we still almost had it. Our opponent still had to draw a second Jace to be able to steal it. So even after all that, it was super close. All right, let's try it like that. Sand just doesn't do anything for forever. All right, this one will keep, although. I mean, I like that we have Tranquil Throwback. That's something. Tranquil Throwback to, I can't believe we got by Spell Pierce. To deal with a Broker's Ascendancy is good. That I like. The rest of this hand, no card draw, which is a bummer. Well, play a land. Yeah, I guess we just passed the turn. Opponent untaps. And Sunset Revelry, okay. Well, opponent's definitely trying to be a control deck. Let's play Defiler of Vigor. See what removals you got. Opponent. I imagine now they are playing a bunch of sweepers, but we'll see. Tribute to the World Tree. Spend the life. Grow the dorks. We will pay. Hit ya. All right, Iganju. So opponent took down our mana dork, drops to 15. Land. Has a Wandering Emperor. Yep. Opponent gets in for 2. Well, we draw land. Defiler of Vigor, draw a card. Opponent. Wow, just cashes in the Wandering Emperor. Plays a land and passes. Well, let's bushwhack for a land. Play the land. Doomscar Warrior. Pay the life. Get some triggers. Back up the Defiler. Yeah, go attacking. I feel like they have another Wandering Emperor. Yep, found it. Wandering Emperor number 2. All right. It's been very good at drawing Wandering Emperors. Opponent ticks up on the dork. and has a Jace. Jace takes up on the Doomscar and passes. Well, play a land, play Uvenwald Oddity. Draw a card. Opponent's going to block. Well, we will Tyver stand the Doomscar. Kill the token, kill the Wandering Emperor. Tamiyo completed Sage. Gets back the Wandering Emperor. Goes after the Oddity. Well, let's play a Frillback. Pay twice. Gain some life, exile your graveyard. Opponent double blocks, sure. Well, play a Scrap Gorger. Get some counters past the turn. I mean, I think this is going to come down to, can we resolve a... All right, opponent decides to draw with Jace. Can we resolve a Nissa? Opponent takes up Tamiyo. Cashes and Wandering. Does this mean they drew another Wandering Emperor? Opponent plays a land, passes. Well, Uvenwald Oddity. Draw a card. Play the land. Jace. Jace. Actually, everything at Jace. Everything at Jace. Exile Tyver stand. Jace dies. Stop on our opponent's upkeep. Bite down. Fight down the Tamiyo. We have slogged our way through a lot of Planeswalkers. What do you got, opponent? Shauna. And a land. I mean, do we just have to go for it? Is this just slam? Yeah, I think it's slam Nissa. Nissa. Full price. No counter. All right. Well, I think we make you die. Our opponent played many Planeswalkers, but we played the best Planeswalker. So opponent's like super friends. We haven't seen any sweepers yet. I wonder... Maybe Thrun is better than Defiler. Thrun not being targetable and having trample is big. Yeah, let's try it. Let's try it like that. All right, opponent's on the play. Can we finish with a win? Opponent's deck looks sweet. I'm glad other people are realizing that enchantments are unbanned. That's been the most interesting development, I would say, of our new standard format. Oh, we have 2 Planeswalker removal spells and the Frillback. You know what we're keeping? Come on, Magic Gods. Come on, Magic Gods. We have 2 2-mana mana dorks, so as long as we hit a land... Oh, that's a 7-drop. Okay, Magic Gods. Okay, Magic Gods. Show us that land. Spirited Companion to draw a card. And Forest off the top. Magic Gods. Why have you forsaken us? Shauna. Opponent hits us. Well... why do you always want me to keep the one-landers? I don't get it, chat. I don't get it. What is it? What is your obsession with these one-land keeps? Every time we do it and we get punished. I would think you would learn eventually, chat, that you shouldn't always just keep a one-lander. But you never learn, chat. You never learn. Every time. Why do you do this to me? I mean, this game's super duper over. Oh, even if we draw land, I think this game is super duper over. We'll give it one more draw. One more draw. If it's a land, we will continue to, I mean, I guess, even though I don't think we should, because I think we can't win from here. But if we draw land this turn, we will continue to play for a minute. If we don't draw land this turn, we're going to scoop, and I blame you. Well, all right. Sometimes chat, you know, get you to keep a one-lander and you draw more Nissas than lands. That's the only way that we figured it out. The only way our deck can be defeated is by y'all making me keep one-landers. Tisk tisk. Shame. Shame. I blame you, chat. I blame you. There goes our 5-0. So what did we learn this week about mono green in standard on a $91 budget? And I gotta say, the deck's actually really legit. We went 8-1 with the deck overall through most of Platinum and some of Diamond on Magic Arena. Right now I'm like halfway through Diamond, and I think this deck is like just legitimately good. I think people are so used to mono green being bad because of how bad it was in the past meta, where Rakdos and all its removal spells and Invoke Despair were around, that people haven't really realized yet that mono green is actually kind of insane. With the meta being much more aggressive, we just have bigger creatures. So if we run into random aggro decks, mono red and soldiers and so forth, we have the beef. We have these huge bodies on the battlefield. The aggro decks just can't get through. We got a ridiculous late game plan, and then we got to see, like, in our tough matchups, like 5-color control or 5-color domain, that's a really tricky matchup because they have so many wraths. They can deal with our board. They have good removal. They have absurd finishers like Atraxa, but we got to see in those matchups the power of Nissa. Like, we always have this finisher hanging over our opponent's head where no matter how bad things get, Nissa can come down and steal the game. Like that game against Atraxa where we almost had our opponent dead, then they stuck Atraxa, and Atraxa just like dominated our board. I think it attacked 6 times. Our opponent went from like 11 life to 40 some life, and we couldn't do anything. And then eventually the turn before we died, Nissa came down, overrun. We hit our opponent for like 70 damage and won the game, even through this unkillable Atraxa. So I think this deck might actually just be good now. The only downside to the deck is it's not super cheap on Arena. It's a great paper budget deck. It's a great Magic Online budget deck. But on Magic Arena, there are a lot of rares and mythics, but I did make an Arena budget version of the deck. I think it's not quite as strong, but if you cut like most of the rares from the sideboard, do a little trimming in the main deck, you can get it down to about 15 rares and mythics. So definitely check out the article over on mtggoldfish.com. It's linked in the description if you want to see a build that's cheaper on Magic Arena. But anyway, that's mono green for standard on a $90 budget. That's our budget Magic for this week. I think mono green might actually be back in good. So anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.